Hello again, everybody. My name is Cassandra and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making something pretty easy. Hamburger gravy, basically. Shit on a shingle, if you know, you know. But I'm just going to make mine with a bunch of mashed potatoes. I do have bread if I decide to have bread with it too, but the goal is hamburger gravy. I'm going to attempt to make it from scratch. So I'm going to try not to use a packet. I'm going to get my flour out. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've never really made gravy from scratch, but you know, if I mess it up, I do have a packet of gravy in my cupboard I can use. I got a ton of potatoes from the food bank, so I'm gonna wash them and just dice them up and leave the skins on. I have these mushrooms from the food bank also that I really need to get cooked up. So I'm gonna cook those separately and then get my onion and my ground beef going and then try to make my gravy and throw everything together. And then of course, my potatoes are gonna have to boil for a little bit. And yeah, you know, an easy meal, but not easy meal. But it's gonna taste really good for the week, so I'm gonna get working on it. Okay, got a little bit of oil in my pans. Got my onion all diced up. It's gonna go in this one. And once it cooks down a little bit, I'll throw my hamburger in it. And then my mushrooms actually look a lot nicer than I thought they were going to. Through the package they kind of looked a little funny, but I'm gonna break them up a little bit, get them cooking down with just a little bit of salt, and then when my gravy's starting to thicken up, I'll toss them in there. Hopefully get cooked around the same time. I'm not sure how I'm gonna make my potatoes. I have a very small kitchen. Probably rearrange a little bit and get them going in a minute. But my mushrooms are going to take probably the longest of everything, so, well, not everything, but I need them to be almost done by the time my gravy gets about done so I can throw them in my gravy. So I will catch you all in a little bit when everything starts cooking down, and then we'll see if I can make gravy or not. Alright, everything's cooking down. I almost have my potatoes diced up. I'm not going to use all the potatoes I pulled out, apparently. I over-exaggerated my mind, I guess, of what I was going to need, so I'm going to throw my hamburger in here. I got my kind of a heavy pound, so it's going to be like 1.25 pounds-ish. And most gravy recipes need like a fat and flour to make the gravy, and I'm pretty sure there'll be enough fat in this to get it done. If not, I can always add a little bit of butter to the pan too. But I'm just gonna finish cooking all this down and get my potatoes starting to boil. And then we'll make gravy after everything's cooked down a little bit more. I forgot to add some garlic, so I have my little minced garlic and water. I'm gonna grab a spoonful-ish. And I have some salt. I'm gonna grab some pepper. And then won't season it again until I actually make the gravy and see what I think it's gonna need at that point. But now it's just the waiting game. Alright, my potatoes are almost starting to boil. My meat's done. See, there's quite a lot of fat and water from the onions, so it should be fine. I might regret my pan for that, but I guess we'll see in a little bit. My kid is eating dinner. I have a couple tablespoons of flour. A couple heaping tablespoons. I'm going to get it all mixed up. Let it soak up some of the fat. And then I'm going to throw in my cup of broth. If it starts getting too thick, I can just add more water and season it accordingly. We are covered. Oops. And then I got a cup of broth. Well, bouillon, same thing. Once this starts simmering, I'll throw my mushrooms in it. I may have put too much flour. But, you know, we'll figure it out in the end, hopefully. Turn my heat back on. This hot water shouldn't take too long to start simmering. I'm kind of worried about my potatoes now. You don't think about it until you look at it again. You're like, I probably should have grabbed a bigger pan. So, whoa. That is thickening up. Once I put the mushrooms in, it should hopefully thin out a little bit more. I don't really want a ton of gravy. I just want enough to flavor it. But I may have put too much flour. I think it's gonna start boiling. Okay, well it's steaming, so I'm gonna throw my mushrooms in. I just got my, I love how mushrooms shrink down really good. Toss my mushrooms in. Let it all heat up a little bit. While I decide, I think I'm gonna add a little bit more water. What do you think? I think it's a safe bet. One sec, let me get some more water. All right, got the rest of my bouillon out. A little bit more water, and gonna add some Worcestershire, just because I know I'm probably gonna want it at the end. A couple tablespoons, and a little more salt because I added more water. And I'm throwing it over potatoes anyway, so if I oversalt it, it's not gonna hurt anything. I'm gonna let this simmer away while my potatoes get boiling, and then we'll make some mashed potatoes. Hamburger gravy never looks very good, but it always tastes so good. And it's trying to snow here. It keeps trying to snow and then it melts, and it tries to snow again and then it melts. So yeah, that's better. I like that half a cup of water. Okay, well I will catch you in a little bit once my potatoes are cooked. Alright, so far the madness with the wooden spoon is working, and it hasn't boiled over. This actually tastes really good. I don't think I'm going to add anything to it. If it ends up being a little bland later on, I can always just put salt on top of my meal. So that is done. I just got to wait for the potatoes to cook. But I can't walk away from them because of how full my pan was. So we'll see how this goes. I might be washing my stovetop tomorrow. Alright, how to make easy mashed potatoes. You have a masher, you have potatoes, cooked all the way through, nice and squishy. Doesn't really matter what kind, doesn't matter if you peel them or not. I prefer red potatoes, but I have russets and I'm too lazy to peel them. So, potatoes, I'm going to add some of my clarified butter. I already broke some out of my little thing that I keep in my fridge. So I'm going to add like 2 or 3 tablespoons worth. You can add whatever you want. It does not really matter. Milk, I have my lactose free. It works just fine. I'm going to start with about 1/3 of a cup. I can always add more as I'm going. Salt. And I'm going to add ground white pepper, because I like white pepper better than black pepper. You can do whatever you want. You could add garlic into it. You could add cheese. You could make it loaded potatoes. It doesn't really matter. You can use a, you don't have to use a hand masher. You can use a handheld mixer or other mixer. I'm just going till it feels like it's the way to go. I may get a spoon out. I like red potatoes. I know you can use Yukon Golds. Okay, I'm going to be doing this for a second. I'll be right back. When it gets smooth, I'm going to add a little more milk to it first, though, because you can tell when it stops smashing, there's not enough milk. Another like 1/4 cup. Nah. Gonna keep going. Ooh. I think that was about the right amount. If you don't like it chunky, get your hand mixer out. I'm perfectly fine with chunky mashed potatoes, though, so. Anyone else like chunky potatoes? And voila, you have mashed potatoes. That's all there is to it. Enjoy! I think we are done. Now, if you wanted to bulk this up a little bit, you could, of course, add like a can of mixed vegetables to it, or get some frozen vegetables, or roasted some and throwing it in there, but I don't really feel like it. Got my mashed potatoes. They're a little chunky, but it's gonna be fine for what it is, and it'll give a little texture to my meal, since it's a very simple meal. I also like red potatoes because they mash so much easier. If you really want smooth, you're gonna have to spend a lot of time mashing or get out your hand mixer. I just didn't want to deal with it, basically. And if you want your gravy thicker, add a little less flour and a little more liquid. But there we are, my hamburger gravy. It smells delicious. It's gonna taste great, because I've already tasted both sides of it, and I'm going to enjoy it. Go sit and have my meal, do a bunch of dishes, and yeah. Hope you all enjoy my video. If you do, toss me a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Later!